Hi everyone, it's me Joe, and don't be scared, I've got no makeup on, but I will talk through a little bit of a mini tutorial in a second, and I'll hopefully be bringing you some never before seen videos. So as many of you know, I have been incredibly busy recently because we have been launching in the UK and in the EU the fabulous new Jecca Blac palette. So I have been creatively directing this particular product. This is the first Joseph Harwood collab you can buy on the market, but it's not a YouTuber conventional setup because I actually was approached by Jecca to come on board at the very start of the brand, and I didn't want to do it until I had worked through a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes with other work I do, and I really couldn't commit to both things, so I was really apprehensive to join, but I agreed. We developed the products from my YouTube videos actually. Some of my earliest videos, like the boy to girl stuff, really had an impact on Jess, and her story was so incredible to me that it was just a no-brainer. What else could I do? It was such a brilliant opportunity, and we have been so busy. I've actually interviewed with BBC, Vogue, many Vogues across the world, Elle, Marie Claire, just to name a few. You've probably been seeing them if you've been looking at my stories. In addition to that, I can't believe the amount of people that have grabbed the palette. I have seen so much positive support, and I can't believe that you guys have really jumped on this. But because I've been doing so much press and we've been going to the L'Oreal head offices and discussing inclusivity, I really want to give you some stuff while I'm kind of working outside of YouTube, if you know what I mean. I want to give you some videos that I've kind of got or I want to do that's leading into inclusivity, because makeup is for everyone. That's a value that I think is definitely something that makeup forgets. It's not meant to be a product necessarily for a gender. It's meant to be pigment and paint to improve your confidence. But in saying that, I still want to give you some finishing touches to what I've got. I want this to be a how-to book. Some of these videos have been so iconic and influenced so many people's lives in their transition, in their confidence building, and I'm still in shock that I can go to events like the McGrath launch in Selfridges and 5 people from the staff of her staff can come over to me and say, oh my God, I watched my videos, and that's how they got into makeup. So it was kind of insane to me to still experience that, even though I'm not actively posting. But what can I say? When you influence the hoes, they never leave you. So today I really wanted to focus on bringing you makeup for men. Makeup for men is something that's not necessarily as taboo as when I started, but I definitely remember there are a few people like B Nation, a couple of my friends that were guys doing YouTube back in the day that gave you kind of grooming tutorials, and they were very specific that this was grooming and not glam. It really is all the same thing. We just want to improve our personal identity with some gorgeous cosmetics that are made of pigments and paints. I want to talk you through some of my favourite brands that I think are moving into the right direction that you guys can try. Hopefully you guys will pick up some tips and tutorials from my unreleased, I have to say, Skillshare classes that focus on 3 different looks of male makeup. So the looks I'm going to be bringing you today are different looks because I wanted to give you a modern day me version, because what I would do today is I would clean up my skin, I would make sure my under eye circles aren't there, I would draw myself some eyebrows on because I choose not to have eyebrows for the convenience of my creative looks, and I would like to just improve the glow of my skin and maybe some symmetry issues. Even though she's pretty much like an egg these days, I still think there are little bits that I want to smooth out with contour. So I will show you my tutorial today, and then I will show you 2 other looks, one on a model and the other one on a model, that just show you varying degrees of male makeup. So for me, the makeup today I'm going to be trying is actually a brand called Stryx. I'm pronouncing it Stryx. It might be Strikes, but I think it's Stryx. I'll put links in the description below, but they are really quite innovative products because they come completely from that male direction. The packaging is very masculine, as I'll pop on the screen right now. And they obviously do 2 products at the moment. One is a retouching pen and one is a moisturizer that's tinted for the skin. Now, I think this is about edging people's confidence into buying any makeup they want. I'm sure they're going to plan on expanding the range as things go on. But they are the first brand that I thought, this is not just some gimmick. These are products that work. And I think with male makeup, it's quite difficult to determine if it's a marketing aspect or it's a true great product. This one I would give you the heads up with, because I think it's very easy to go into the realm of not having anything on your skin. Sometimes you get male makeup and they really just don't have enough pigment to them. They don't do the job. I would just give you all three of these options, and hopefully you can find something out of them that you would like to use, and that would be great for me. So this brand has a tinted moisturizer, as I've said, so I'll pop that all over the skin now. What I would advise with tinted moisturizers is definitely to go into them almost like you're using a cream. Now, the more you warm them up with your hands, and if you are totally unconfident, you don't have any products up there, which I imagine a lot of guys have none, so brushes or sponges and so forth, use your fingers and really work it into the skin. You cannot do too much work with this type of product. Some of the girl foundations down the road, or some of the bigger foundations down the road, we should say, they actually have a product that grabs to the skin. They dry down. You can't necessarily use them as well with your hands as you can with a product like a sponge, just because it pulls a little bit of that product off the skin as you're applying it. But you don't have to worry about that yet. You can watch my other tutorials for more info about that. So from that, you can actually see that the skin is smooth. It looks pretty much clean. I don't think that there are any rules I can give you about going too much, because I think anyone could have any preference. I like to cover my skin and make it the same kind of colour as my freckles. So what I do is I have pigmentation on the back of my neck, and I have a dark kind of olivey tone in my chest. So I will bring that onto my face, and then I'll use a highlighter to bring some dimension back. Now, with you guys, if you're just going to start off with one simple moisturiser like the Stryx product, just keep it light, keep it even. And if you feel like there's a discrepancy between the colour of your neck or your face, blend it onto the neck. Don't feel like this is something just for the face. You can't move it elsewhere. You can use it any way you want. You can use it on the back of your hands. You can use it on your neck, your chest, your face. And traditionally, these products are water resistant. They have a highlighter pen. Now, for me, I use a lot of concealer. I use a colour corrector first. So the colour corrector I use is by a brand called Dermacolor. It's owned by Kryolan. I particularly like this formula on me because it's bulky. It's got a waxy texture. It doesn't dry down. It's got a cream. But when you set it, it stays. I use this almost like you would tone bleached hair. So as you would use a violet toner on yellow, you would use a peach on this kind of bluish grey. And always think the more intense pigment in your skin, the more intense the shade should be. So darker skins, you would use more of an orange. Lighter skins, you'd use more of a peach. And that will pretty much be your basics to colour correcting if you wanted to go to that step. Next, you just use this product, and the benefit of these highlighter wands is they come in a lot of luminescent formulas, and the Stryx one is very good, but I've left it on my hands to warm up. If you leave it on the back of your hands, they do set somewhat and they become a little bit thicker. So makeup artist tip for you guys to have. But basically, when you apply this from your hand, it just feels like you've got more of a dense product. It's not as translucent and really does pat into the crevice of the under eye. Once you've got your under eyes done, I'm going to add some eyebrows. Now, I've got many eyebrow tutorials, so I'll skip through that. The last thing I wanted to say is lips. I'm going to add some colour to mine, and that's pretty much a finished look. So I'm going to now include my actually fabulous Skillshare classes, because these were very successful on Skillshare many years ago, because I think you guys have wanted to see me do makeup on models for a while. Now, there is so much coming in the woodworks. I'm just going to give you some heads up. I will be in Paris and Barcelona during the middle of May, and then me and Jess are actually working on a few things. Hopefully what I'm going to end up doing is giving you a proper full spectrum view of my new work. Now, whether this comes to your areas in the US or it comes to the UK is yet to be decided, but it will be in a let's just say a recorded format, but just working out the logistics of that at the moment. So I'm going to speed through these tutorials more so than give you the step-by-step, because really these are just different ways of doing makeup with the same kind of skills. I'm using contouring, highlighting and color correction to actually bring out the bone structure of the models and actually changing up the skin tone so it looks a little bit more even, and just finishing off the looks. I just show you on different face shapes, different intensities of products, so you can get to grips with how this could be applied to you. Now, the products I'm using will all be in the description below. Definitely the ones I was focusing on today were Stryx, so you guys can check out the best ones for you, but you could do this in so many different ways. Your creativity is, it could be as elaborate as you want it to be. You can do anything. I tried to stick with more so the way I would see male makeup on television and in print. I thought that would be a better way of doing it, because then you guys would see actually this person that I see every day is actually in makeup. And different people wear different variations. There's a lot of TV presenters in the UK that wear this kind of makeup. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give you the behind the scenes. You can pick and choose what you want, but this is pretty much it. So the first look I'm doing is just very, very polished and basic. I'm giving a little bit of intensity to the eye socket because I thought, do you know what, like, you guys want to see what people really do, and this is a trick that a lot of people do when there is blue light, because blue light bleaches out your skin tone and takes away some of the intensity of your bone structure. And this is some of the lights they actually use in HGTV. So I'm using a lot of brushes by Artis, actually. Artis brushes are actually quite ergonomical, and I worked with them. I think I was the first blogger to actually do a video with them after meeting with the brand in Dallas, Texas. And what they do is they basically are a different style of brush. You can use them more, I guess you would say, like a window wiper motion, or you were going to brush your face. And I think that's an easier way for guys to get on with products. So if you wanted to get, for example, a brush, but you didn't want to buy a makeup brush kit, they are quite useful. So I really wanted to bring out the skin tone. I wanted to kind of just not give you a proper contour, because I just wanted to give you a clean skin. And then finally, this one is me, and obviously I take it to the extreme. I have very, very pigmented skin in my face with freckles, but I also have very olivey skin on my chest. So I kind of use products in two combinations, one to match my skin tone to my body, but also to even out my freckles. So again, it's just 3 different looks. One of them is about intensifying the face, one of them is about cleaning up the skin, and this one is about painting on my version of me. So you can see actually how dramatic my beard has been reduced. Oh my God, the trials and tribulations I've been through to get rid of this damn facial hair. It was so funny. I was looking at these videos and I was thinking, Jesus Christ, this was 2 years ago now. I was in a completely different house. I hadn't met the Baron. Like, Jesus Christ. So basically, hopefully you will enjoy this and pick up some different tips. But I am really happy with these tutorials, and I'm glad they're finally on my channel. So that's kind of my step-by-step. So hopefully you like that. I'm not attempting to create lots of new content at the moment because I'm so busy. I've actually just been having a meeting this week, and I've been doing something very exciting with an organisation you guys love. So can't say too much yet, but wait and see for that. And I'm flying off to Paris in the middle of May, and then to Barcelona for something, which I'm very excited about because it's to do with my work. And I will give you all the tea when it all comes out. But thank you so much for all the support. Check out Stryx in the links below. As I said, at this point, my YouTube is about maintaining my how-to book, adding more pages to it that I think are missing. I really just want to bring you stuff that I think would finish everything off. So hopefully you love that one. And any guys out there, if you want any advice, write some comments and I'll get back to you. All right, honeys, have a great day and I'll see you all soon.